The events of the year 536 AD, when the sun disappeared and a global catastrophe occurred, entered history as the year without a summer. Chronicles of many peoples testify to strange and terrifying phenomena that occurred that year. The sun seemed to dim, the sky was covered with dark clouds, and cold and drought continued for almost 2 years. Scientists could not explain the reasons for these events for a long time. However, the study of geological data and the analysis of ancient texts allowed them to recreate the picture of a global natural disaster. It all started in the spring of 536. A powerful eruption somewhere in the tropical region released a colossal amount of volcanic ash and smoke into the atmosphere. This ash blocked the sunlight for many months across the planet. The temperature dropped sharply. In Europe and Asia, abnormal colds, devastating for the harvest, set in. The summer of 536 was so frosty and dry that all crops died. A terrible famine began. People died from exhaustion and diseases. Barbarian tribes went to war against weakened empires in search of food and loot. Chaos and violence flourished. The volcanic winter lasted almost 2 years. Only in 538 did the sun begin to break through the clouds of ash and smoke. But the consequences were terrifying. Hunger and epidemics led to the death of millions of people. Entire regions were depopulated. Many tribes and peoples disappeared in the darkness of this disaster. Great empires trembled and began to disintegrate. This was the beginning of the Dark Ages in Europe. A period of decline and regression that lasted for centuries. The consequences were catastrophic. Powerful states collapsed, entire peoples disappeared. The Dark Ages began in Europe. A period of decline and regression that lasted for centuries. Only many years later, analyzing chronicles and geological data, scientists were able to recreate the picture of the events of 536. The name of the volcano responsible for the global cooling event in 536 AD is not definitively known. However, the Ilopango volcano in El Salvador is one of the leading candidates. A massive eruption from Ilopango is believed to have triggered the climatic cooling of that year. Other sources have suggested Krakatoa as a possible location, but this is less certain. The exact source of the volcanic winter remains a topic of ongoing research and debate among scientists. The year 536 AD was indeed a remarkable and catastrophic period in history. Here are some intriguing details about the events that unfolded. Mysterious fog. A mysterious fog enveloped Europe, the Middle East and parts of Asia for 18 months, causing the sun to appear dimmed and leading to a significant drop in temperatures. Volcanic eruptions. The climatic cooling, known as the volcanic winter of 536, was likely caused by at least 3 simultaneous volcanic eruptions. The exact locations of these eruptions are still uncertain, with various continents being proposed as possible sources. Global impact. The ash from the eruptions blocked sunlight, leading to a dramatic decrease in temperature. This resulted in widespread crop failures, famine and social turmoil across the planet. Historical accounts. Byzantine historian Procopius wrote about the sun giving off light without brightness, akin to an eclipse, and described a year where Men were free neither from war nor pestilence nor any other thing leading to death. Climatic aftermath. The immediate effects of the volcanic winter were compounded by subsequent eruptions in 540 and 547, which further extended the period of global cooling. The Late Antique Little Ice Age. This period of climatic cooling lasted from 536 to around 560 AD, marking the beginning of one of the worst periods to be alive, if not the worst year, according to medieval scholar Michael McCormick. These events had profound and lasting impacts on human civilization, contributing to the onset of the Dark Ages in Europe, a time characterized by decline and regression. The year 536 AD and its aftermath remain a subject of fascination and study among historians and scientists today. And today, scientists continue to argue about what exactly happened in 536. And the volcanic winter of 536 forever entered history as one of the greatest natural disasters that changed the course of human civilization. But it is still not possible to accurately determine the place and scale of this ancient natural disaster. And the mysterious volcanic winter still holds many puzzles.